Good evening, fellows, and Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I hope this finds you in good spirits. So, in the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the most beneficent and the most merciful, today we are going to be talking about how to solve a discussion essay, which is today's component. So, I hope you were able to understand the two-part question and double essay in good letter and spirit, right? Once again, if you have any sort of questions, please do not hesitate to ask me, okay? So before we begin our discussion essay, right, just let me tell you a bit about it, right? A discussion essay basically gives you a certain topic, okay? And there are like two different schools of thought, okay? So for example, आज का जो topic है वो ये है कि, I mean, if you talk about the upbringing of children, right? I mean, you got a certain echelon of the society saying that no, that is only the job of the parents, right? Whereas the other school of thought, they say that no, that is the job of the teachers, right? So what you will be asked is to discuss both the views and then give your opinion, okay? So basically, when it comes to a discussion essay, you have 5 paragraphs. Okay, the first paragraph is always going to be your introduction. The introduction comprises of 3 things. Okay, you have to talk about the general statement. That's the main topic of discussion. Then you have to talk about your background question statement that has to be paraphrased, right? Using suitable synonyms without modifying the whole crux of it, right? Without changing the meaning behind it. And then there is the thesis statement in which you directly address the question that is asked. You know, you talk about how you're going to go about addressing those views and what your opinion is going to be. आप लोगों ने जब अपना opinion देना, so you have to be very careful about one thing, that you stick to one side, okay? You can't be diplomatic that, yep, I agree with them, I agree with them. I understand कभी कभार दुनिया में आपको एक बहुत एक what you call एक all-rounder perspective लेना पड़ता है. अब मैं अगर अपने एक्सपीरियंस से बात करूं, तो जहां तक बच्चों की नशोनुमा और अपब्रिंगिंग की बात है, मैं समझता हूं इसमें पेरेंट्स एज वेल एज उस्ताद इकराम दोनों इक्वल स्टेक होल्डर्स हैं. मैं अगर अपनी जिंदगी को रिफ्लेक्ट बैक करता हूं, राइट, the effort that my teachers were putting in, right, it was the same as the effort that my mom and dad were putting in my life, right, in terms of disciplining me, if not more, right? So, but in this case, unfortunately, we have to avoid the diplomatic stance. We have to stick with one perspective. Yes, you can say that they both matter, but this section needs to, it needs to be assigned a higher priority, right? So with that being said, now let us just quickly go about it. And this for today, we won't be, since I'm in the library and it's going to be closing in 10 minutes, right? So there'll be no words, spellings or reading for today, but we'll definitely be carrying that on in the upcoming session. Okay, thank you. So and that being said and done, let us move on. And I'm going to be doing screen share, and we're going to be talking about today's sample discussion essay. All right. So, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I hope everyone can see the screen properly. Zoom in. Yep, I think that's going to be good enough. Right. So let's talk about the question first. Yeah, the question says, some people think that parents should teach children how to be good members of the society. Others, however, believe that school is a place to learn this. Now, discuss both these views and give your opinion. Yeah, you got to discuss both these views and give your opinion. You have to give reasons for your answer and include any relevant examples from your own knowledge or experience. Write at least minimum of 250 words. All right. So you have to write at least 250 words. Now, we're going to begin with our first paragraph being the introduction that has 3 things in it. We'll start off with the general statement. किस मौजू के ऊपर बात हो रही है? सबसे पहले आपको ये जानना पड़ेगा, right? We're talking about the grooming of children, right? And its intense, imperative essence, significance for the society, माशरे के लिए, मुल्क के लिए, दुनिया के लिए. So this is our general statement, right? The upbringing and grooming of children is important not only for themselves, but also for the whole society. The children are the future torchbearers of the nation, right? आपकी आने वाली generation नहीं आपके मुल्क को सराहना है, right? So उसके बाद हम क्या करेंगे? हम अपने background question statement को paraphrase करेंगे. This was a background question statement, right? Some people think that parents should teach children how to be good members of society. Others, however, believe that school is a place to learn this. The best way to paraphrase the background question statement, fellas, is to break it down into different parts and try to find synonyms for each part, right? Which is where you'll find the words and idioms and spellings that I'm doing with you, right? At the end of each session, right? Each SS session, discussion session, right? You'll find that to be very helpful, right? Because that is what I've prepared based on my own experience of giving this exam, and hopefully, that comes to help you during your time as well. So, isko humne kis tarah paraphrase kiya? Hence, Hence it is debatable as to whether it is either parents or teachers who should be solely responsible for making children become good members of the society. Hence, it is debatable as to whether it is either parents or teachers who should be solely responsible for making children become good members of the society, right? Then comes my thesis statement, right? In which I'll talk about addressing these views and then give my opinion in which I need to side with one of the two schools. I know in this case, both factions need to give this matter equal emphasis, if not more, right? But you have to stick to one side, right? You need to give more weightage to one school of thought as opposed to the other school of thought. So over the course of this essay, I will discuss both the schools of thought and pitch my respective opinion. That is, parents must take the ultimate responsibility of guiding the students in the right direction. Okay. We are done with our journal statement. We have paraphrased our background question statement, and then we have talked about the thesis statement. This concludes our first paragraph, that is introduction. Up till the second paragraph, that is body paragraph 1, we have to discuss the first view. Which view? क्रोनोलॉजिकली देख लें. अगर पहले पेरेंट्स की बात की तो पहले पेरेंट्स की बात कर लें. अगर उन्होंने पहले आपसे स्कूल और साथी के पॉइंट व्यू से मेंशन किया, then you can just talk about them first. Okay, in this case, let's start with parents, right? So introduce the first idea. The former school of thought asserts that parents are the first institute of a child as well as his first focal point of contact. All right, उसके बाद इसको थोड़ा सा explain करें. It is scientifically claimed that the majority of human personality traits are developed at an early stage of life. When children possess volatile mindsets, and volatile mindsets means they're very sensitive, they're very impressionable, right? Any habit that is picked up at an early stage is likely to last for a significantly long period of time. That is why they say, right, avoid things like, smoking, drugs, right? Avoid things like video gaming, right? Especially as a teenager, because if you don't overcome these negative habits, the odds are that they might become a permanent part of your personality. Thoughts lead to attitudes, attitudes lead to behavior, behavior leads to changes, right? I mean, it's all the circle of life, right? So this is explanation. उसके बाद एक example देते हैं, right? Now let us give an example of what the psychologists say just to validate our reasoning and give more strength and weightage to it, yeah? For example, many psychologists believe that children are very keen observers. Very keen observers mean they're very good when it comes to, observing and noticing things in their environment and, interpreting things, who emulate the behaviors of their parents, who copy the behaviors of their parents, which is why they say it's very important to set a good example, right? You teach a child good manners, the importance of respecting his elders, the significance of, being loving and understanding and compassionate towards his subordinates as well as equals. And, you'll find him to, be a positive asset for the community and vice versa. So, for example, many psychologists believe that children are very keen observers who emulate the behaviors of their parents. So based on that, right, parents are believed to possess a pivotal opportunity this is our closing statement. Based on that, parents are believed to possess a pivotal opportunity in order to play a Herculean role in helping the children differentiate between right and wrong successfully on an objective scale. All right. After that, you have the third paragraph, that is body paragraph 2. Now we talk about the second view. You introduce it, you explain the reasoning, you give an example based on your knowledge or experience, and then you close it, okay? Now, because in the body paragraph, I discussed the first view, that was regarding the parents. This time we're discussing the second view, that is about the school. Now introduce the idea. The latter school of thought dictates that school is the ultimate place of teaching, where teachers impart, now we're explaining it also, where teachers impart academic, practical, and ethical values to their students. Children become more mature and self-aware as they learn to interact with their peers, work on challenging real-time projects with their fellow associates, and cope up with diversity and successfully deal with challenges, be it on an individual or collective level. Also, after home, students spend the maximum amount of their time in a day at school. घर के बाद सबसे ज़्यादा time बच्चे जो early stage of their existence वो कहाँ गुजार रहे होते हैं? तालीमी इदारों में. Now give an example. For example, local high schools in New Zealand have a mandatory policy of making kids do charity work on weekends in conjunction with the teachers in order to make them acquire empathy and comprehend the significance of giving back to the society, right? Then finally, you have a closing statement. Hence, it is absolutely imperative that the schools rise well to the challenge of successfully molding the character of children. Closing statement. We are done with the first 3 paragraphs. Now we move to the 4th paragraph, that is body paragraph 3. The same thing. Introduce the idea, explain it, give an example, then close it. Ab humne upar body paragraphs 1 or 2 mein kya kiya, we discussed different sides of the coin, right? Now, look at the question, fellas. Let's go up and let's look at the question. Discuss both these views done, and now it's saying give your opinion. You have to stick to one side, and whichever side you stick to, when you express that idea, right, you have to explain it. Or jab aap explain kare to kindly ek naya reason, ek naya perspective there. All right, don't repeat the same thing that you said above, okay? Because the examiner does not like repetition, okay? It weakens your argument, okay? It drags down your band score, okay? Because it kind of violates the band descriptor. Coherence, aapka jo flow hai, wo toot jata hai, right? You need to have more originality of content. That is a very, very important component of getting when it comes to getting a good score, fellas. So as we explained earlier, however, I believe that it will be more efficient and effective for the parents to teach their own children because of the sheer amount of time they spend together, especially during the weekends and summer holidays, right? Parents should be responsible to ensure the kids are growing up in a healthy environment and developing the proper correct attitudes. Moreover, it is quite easy for the parents to identify and correct any unwanted behavior of their children. Hence, they need to take the lead role in developing the characters and personalities of their children, right? So, ये हमने अपना दे दिया opinion, and you could have thrown in an example on your own knowledge experience moment, but you guys please feel free to do that. Okay, the more examples you give, the better it is. Quantity matters, but remember, so does quality, right? That's very important. Finally, we have our conclusion. All we have to do is paraphrase the main ideas of the body paragraphs and then wind it up without introducing any new, what you call quote or example or stance in the matter. So in conclusion, healthy parenting and effective schooling are the needs of the hour, okay? In conclusion, healthy parenting and effective schooling are the needs of the hour. Parents must take the lead in developing and refining the personalities of the children, while the school must also play its supporting role, all right? Parents must take the lead in developing and refining the personalities of the children, while the school must also play its supporting role, all right? Thank you very much. So this kind of, summarizes our, discussion essay, right? So once again, there will always be 3 things to the question, okay? Discuss the first view, discuss the second view, give your opinion. 5 paragraph honge kul mila ke. You have first of all the introduction, that has 3 things in it: general statement, paraphrase the background question statement, and the thesis statement. That is a direct response to the postulated question. Then you have your second paragraph, that is body paragraph 1. Talk about the first view, explain it, exemplify it, close it. Third paragraph, body paragraph 2, same drill, but the second view. Fourth paragraph, body paragraph 3, give your opinion, stick to one side, give some reasoning, give a good example, preferably if possible, close it. And then the conclusion, you just summarize the main ideas. All right. Now, obviously, in the upcoming class, I'll be doing the drill of the words, spellings, as well as the idioms. So please make sure that you go through this, fellas. Let me know if you have any, queries or any sort of feedback. I would really, really endorse that. And just stay blessed, right? Allah bless you with the best in both worlds. See you soon, fellas. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.